obviously I deemed myself an expert for today's session. That's why I'm talking, somebody else isn't. So I wanted to start by letting you guys know why I think I am an expert at being a business owner and staying motivated. So for starters, I was really excited when I was making the presentation for this week because I'm actually doing a really hard class right now for my master's degree, and it's really making me feel not motivated. So I was kind of like, I've been cursing the name of this course. It's called Managerial Economics and Quantitative Analysis, and I hate it, and I've been complaining about it to everyone. And I realized while I was doing this presentation that I was doing all the things that make you unmotivated, like complaining about it, focusing on the things you don't like, blah blah blah. And when I finally just really looked at my presentation and thought, well, I'm not doing any of these things, and got back in the right frame of mind, I just started doing my homework. That's all there was to do, is just take action. So it was really awesome, and this really fits for me. And also, I don't know if any of you guys know about this, but the project that Jim and I worked on was actually a book that I wrote a few years ago. And it was about, it's for youth, youth that are struggling with depression or addiction. And basically all this stuff, this personal development stuff and this business stuff, is very similar to each other, and it's really close to my heart because I used to be really not motivated and really down and really not positive. So my whole life for the last 12, 13 years has really been about this stuff. So I'm excited to talk about it today.
Very good.
And
Got some money. I'm impressed.
Yeah, that's good. So basically, what I used to do in my management career was take companies from people like you and run them for them. So, and people always would say to me, why don't you start your own company? You're so good at running companies. And I was like, no, I don't want the risk. And I would just take my nice salary and my bonuses, and I would be like, this person can have all the risk. And then a couple years ago, I finally got the courage to go out on my own because I know that it's so worth the risk. And I just wanted to make sure that you guys know that I know how scary it is to not have a steady paycheck, to not have somebody else paying your bills, you know, like you can't depend on any of it. So you're really courageous and really brave for even being an entrepreneur, and I want you guys to know that I acknowledge you for that. Okay? Okay, so I'm going to go shut the lights off because we're going to start with the video. Do you guys feel motivated? That's the whole session. So you guys should write down your whys, even if you just summarize it, okay?
I think Jared should have to say his stuff.
Yeah. Everybody
else
did.
That's a good point. Hey, we don't use those words.
And the videographer.
So yeah, what's your why?
My why is I was pissed off that the employers told me how many hours I could work. So I said, fine then.
So you wanted to be able to make your own decisions about how much to work? That's a good one. And make no mistake, I think he's talking about working more than he was allowed, right? Yeah, okay. That's pretty awesome.
No, it's too many hours. 8 hours a day. I was like, this is too much.
Okay, did you guys write down your why? Don't lie, there's only 8 of you and I can see you. So, I don't know if anyone likes hockey. I don't really, but the reason I put this picture up is because my mom would always tell me that if you didn't have a goal, it was like playing hockey without a net. And although I've never played hockey, that makes sense. It's like you just skate around at the puck and there's nowhere to shoot it. So I've always had goals. And I want to talk about your goals today. So we're going to go around and ask each other what our goals are. And remember that you can't score goals without a net. You need a target. We need to have short, medium, and long-term goals. And then we need to decide who's going to do what and when, and what's the follow-up. So at least one goal each, let's share.
I could start.
Okay, great.
My goal, my short, what are you considering a short-term goal? Like a year?
6 months or less?
Well, it's still to get more off my plate that I don't have to do everything.
Mm-hmm.
So if we can hopefully be able to hire a receptionist or.
Mm-hmm. To work less in the business and work more on the business?
Yep.
Awesome. Yeah, go ahead.
My short-term goal is to sell enough work to keep my cruise busy. I know that's fairly short-sighted, but that's
No,
my
that's a
goal
good
at the
one.
moment.
Yeah, that's a good one.
My goal is probably more like 12 to 18 months, but my goal is to be completely debt-free.
That's an awesome goal.
Rental houses and everything.
Awesome. That's amazing. Okay.
You're a Dave Ramsey fan, aren't you?
I'm a huge Dave Ramsey fan. And part of my goal then eventually is to go back to work whenever this charter school opens so I can send my children there and then I can help other people become debt-free.
That's awesome. And you'll still be a business owner though in that work, right? Awesome. Like, don't convince them to go back to work. This is about staying business owners. Who else wants to share a goal?
Oh, go ahead, Jake. You were taking a deep breath there.
I was going to say mine was to find another journeyman, which we found this week. So I'm hoping he stays, and we're going to do our best to keep him. And then, of course, being able to hire more apprentices as a result of that. And that way I can hopefully get them in place as leaders, and then I can have more vacation time.
Awesome. And keep looking for more of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
More next
Yeah,
year.
for me it's staffing. Growing,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
having
Yep.
the staff to meet the demands.
Awesome. Chelsea?
Probably see improvement on like the bottom line of the company after just hitting our first year, so we want to see those numbers go up. And then probably see the staff that we currently have or new staff become pretty self-sufficient and start taking on the face of the company as well. So.
Awesome. Cool.
My goal is to start using my calendar more and become a little bit more organized.
By next
Are you sucking up to Kelly Ray?
calendar.
I'm not at all, actually.
I love all your goals. They all fit
Me too.
with their coaching.
But actually with that calendar thing, like I suck at it, but we were talking about it last week, and anybody that's successful, well, a lot of people that I know that are successful have a calendar and they live by their calendar. So I'm like, crap. Kelly Ray might have a
say
point.
that next week.
We'll have to
Jim?
hang out with them.
I have a
Yeah, I
couple
think
points. Jim, what's your goal?
Short term, get to a point where I'm paying the bills again. Medium term is to just develop more and more options for possible revenue streams.
Okay.
And that's in works, so.
Awesome. We're gonna talk at the end. We'll have like the discussion piece where you guys can talk more on what are you eating? Oh, chocolate. I was like, I didn't see that in
Meat
any of the
first.
containers. Yeah, there's goodies there, you guys. At the end, we'll do the discussion portion where we can kind of do the round table and you can take your 5 minutes or whatever to talk about whatever you want. So make sure that you also, when you're writing down your goals, that they're very specific. So what do you want to accomplish, by when, and who's going to do it? So for Chelsea, she wants to make, I'm just going to totally make up these numbers. She wants to make $10,000 profit a month, and she wants to have her key new designer in place by September 1st, 2016, and like be that specific, okay? So exactly what you want and by when and who's gonna do it. And for like Jim, for you, for example, a lot of it might be that you're gonna do it for now, but as long as you're specific about what exactly you want and when, be good. Okay, so mission statements. Who worked on their mission statement before this?
Like a long time ago.
Long time ago.
No? Did anybody bring their mission
I
statement?
did!
Oh, awesome.
See if it makes sense anymore, right?
Yeah. Okay, well, since the two people brought them, why don't you guys share yours?
Mine says, our mission is to improve the health, safety, and enjoyment of landscape plants in the urban setting by utilizing proven cultural solutions and environmentally sound practices. We combine our formal training and experience to benefit your urban oasis and to preserve trees for both our clients and future generations.
Nice. How'd you write that?
I don't know, just smart.
That's awesome. Confidence, that's one of our other slides. Good job, Maureen.
Yeah!
What
Or
about you guys?
smart.
Our mission is to provide plumbing and gas fitting services in an efficient and correct code manner while always maintaining fair pricing and relationships with all stakeholders.
Oh,
Awesome. And that's cool because that's something that makes them different, right? Like the guy that you just hired, Patrick, when I interviewed him, he said, oh, can I just tell you something I really love about them? And I said, yeah, for sure. And he said, well, this is the only company I've ever worked for where I don't get sworn at. And it's true. The way that they interact with their sub-trades and their customers and everything is a whole different level than their competitors. So that really sets them apart. So that's good. With your mission statements, they need to be clear and succinct. They need to be motivating. So they need to motivate you, they need to motivate your team and your customers. So when you hear someone's mission statement, it should make you want to buy from them. It should make you want to do business with them. So in your mission statement, you should talk about what do you do, how do you do it, why do you do it, and for who. It must be true. So don't make up, like, you know, it's not even legal to make up marketing messages that aren't true, but mission statements, they have to be true. Like, if you're pretending that you do something for a certain reason and it's not true, your staff will see right through you and it won't work. The reason we have a mission statement is because we're all on the same path, we all have the same mission in mind. Put it on your wall, put it on your website, put it on your business cards, put it on yourself and put it on your team. You don't have to put it on your business cards, you don't have to put it on every place, but it has to be in everyone's heads. Everyone should know your mission statement. I worked for Aveda for 3.5 years and I still know their mission statement, and it's really long because we recited it at every staff meeting. It was kind of crazy. We all wore black. It was a little cultish. I know. But so, then we drank blood. But, the point is that we all believed in it. We knew it was true. And I still remember it like 4 years later. So, and did you guys read the mission statements I sent you? March 22nd?
Copy?
Mm-hmm.
What did you like and what did you not like?
I liked when they were really concise. Because I've worked for other companies and I've like read mission statements and like by like the third sentence, I'm lost. I'm gone.
Yeah.
I don't even know what they're talking about anymore.
Yeah, that's a really good point. They should be as
Was there one in
concise
there
as
that you
possible.
thought was better than the others, or?
I don't know, because they're like so different. I kind of read
Yeah.
them through like, you know, kind of what we do. Pictures actually really helped.
Yeah, that's a good point. They
I
always
also
have.
have my mission statement.
Oh, let's hear it.
I found it.
You don't have it memorized yet?
No.
I almost have it memorized. We create stunning landscapes for discerning clients with an eye for beauty. That's all I can remember.
And
Is it on your website?
I had it open here 1 second ago.
Down technology.
Okay, give me a second. Oh, I found it. There we go. Every time I talk, I have to cough. Sorry.
It's okay.
We create stunning landscapes for discerning clients with an eye for beauty. We employ the best people and use only the best equipment and materials because creating your ideal outdoor living space brings us as much joy as it brings you.
Nice.
Isn't that awesome?
I love how
Can
that
I make a
is.
really quick comment?
Mhm.
The equipment part, that's kind of true except for the floors. Just thought I'd throw that out there real quick. Sorry to keep interrupting, but
What's your mission statement? You guys got one yet?
we're working.
We'll work on it at the end, and you can work out an intermediate statement. So the next important statement that you want to have for your company is company vision. So your mission, it's kind of related to your vision, but your vision is really just a really summarized sentence about how you see yourself in 5 or 10 years. Or you could pick 15 years. Like, Maureen might have a vision of changing the Southern Alberta arborist industry so that no more hack jobs are being done. No more uncertified arborists are topping trees. That never happens again. Like, that might be her vision. Like a top-free Southern Alberta or something, you know? For Verlin, what could your vision be? A water feature in every yard.
No, actually, yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
But, more the point of it would be that I can give people time and space that they can enjoy in their yard with their families. Give them more time and enjoy something amazing in their yard.
That's
That'd be
awesome.
my vision. I guess that's kind of a mission statement too, but that everybody that I do a landscape for gets some value beyond just the products I put in their yard.
And then try to quantify that a bit by, I don't know exactly how you would word it, but basically just like the vision that you see for the market. Like, let's say you're doing all of Southern Alberta, let's say you're just doing Lethbridge. What's your vision for the people in that market and for your company?
Okay, I have to think about it.
So the vision is for yourselves, your clients, and your team. And this should be on your wall too. So some examples of vision statements are being the leader in sales and profit for all of Western Canada, giving the most money to charity ever. Like let's say the most money given to charity by a Canadian company or something. That could be a vision. The highest customer satisfaction rate in the world. That's Zappos right now, I think, or one of those companies, but you guys could have that as a vision. You could change the world by inventing new technology. Or you could do something different that other people aren't doing. You could have a vision of changing the trades so that everybody, is that what you wrote down?
No, we have our vision statement, but keep going.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, you could have a vision of changing the trade so that everyone treats each other with respect. Is that what you wrote down?
Close.
It down
What is it?
Our vision is to be leaders in our industry for quality work and customer and inter-trades relationships.
Yeah, awesome. And then kind of describing it like a movie. Like when you talk about a vision, you want to be able to paint a picture or a movie for people. So when people see the vision statement on your website, it would be like, we are striving to create, not an abuse-free, but something along those terms, environment of respect and mutual.
You sound like our hiring ad.
Oh.
I always said atmosphere of respect.
Yeah, that's awesome. Like, stay with that.
Here's mine.
Change the industry.
Is it by providing a balance between customer needs and planned healthcare issues, we achieve customer satisfaction, repeat business, and referrals. This creates a model tree care company where professional development is encouraged, safety is a priority, employees are respected, customers are valued, and trees are preserved.
What was the last part?
Trees are preserved.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's a true vision the way you're describing it, though.
It does sound,
More
it
like
sounds
a mission.
good. So the last part is more vision-y. Creating a model tree care company where, but try to look at the industry again, like I was saying to Berlin, like how, your vision is basically like, how are you going to change the world?
Okay.
How are you going
Yeah.
to change our world or your world or the Lethbridge world or the flower world? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So a little light bulb. Chelsea, do you have something you want to share?
No, I'm just writing down what you
Okay.
said. I'm thinking.
Culture statement. So this is the third thing I want you to post. Basically, this is a list of statements of how you do things. So at J. Clausen Plumbing and Gas Fitting, we do not swear. At J. Clausen Plumbing and Gas Fitting, we're grateful for our blessings. At J. Clausen Plumbing and Gas Fitting, we treat all sub-trades, employees, and clients with the utmost respect and care, those sort of things. So up to 10, no more than 10. The less you have, the more likely your staff are going to remember them all and do them all, but you can have up to 10. I want to talk about who you are and how you treat each other, how you treat customers, what do you believe in, what are you committed to. So basically your culture statements are, what are we doing here? And I know your mission is kind of like that, but these are like a succinct set of statements where you're like, this is how we do things.
So the same thing as our values.
Yeah, yeah, oh, they're very closely related, yes. Do you want to share some of those?
Sure.
Ours are recognizing in all we do that it is from God and for God, perform duties and tasks correctly, uphold proper customer service and management of complaints, assist employees to grow both professionally and in personal growth, create a positive and maintain a positive work environment, and ensure that we welcome change and are vigilant in continual growth.
Awesome. The one with correctly, do tasks correctly. I might change that one to something about the highest standard or the utmost, because you know you do things better than other plumbers, right? Where they just do the cheapest fix, you do that thing with the pipe where it's harder and more expensive, but it works better. Those kind of things.
Can I butt in?
Yeah.
So on Facebook, on the McGrath forum the other day, somebody said, we need a plumber for our yard. So I said, J. Clausen Plumbing and Gas Fitting would be the people. And somebody out in McGrath said, we've used them a few times and they're awesome. It was a Thompson.
Heather Thompson?
Heather.
She's an A customer.
You've worked for Heather?
I love Heather Thompson.
Yeah. It was her daughter-in-law.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. I was all ready for like the complaints. I thought it was like complaint management. I was like, all right, let's do this.
Me too. I was like, this is not an appropriate time to share.
I couldn't tag your page when I was...
Tagging business pages, I can never get it done either. I can always tag people, but I can never tag like...
I have to do that @ symbol in front.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to like the page to be able to
Yeah,
tag it.
and you will never be able to tag. I can't tag like individual people from the business page.
No,
but if you do the
that'll
@
be
symbol,
spam.
yes. If you do the @ symbol, you can tag
So,
a business.
and I tried to find, I think you or Lacey on there to tag.
Maybe because
but-
we're not a part of the McGrath group.
Oh, maybe that's what it was too. That could have been.
Okay, guys. Have your team. I'm like, Sheva, can you cut that part out? Have your team help create these statements to increase buy-in. So if you have a team, even if it's just one person, have lunch or breakfast with them and have them help you create these statements. If you're if you get them to help you create them, they're way more likely to buy into them. And when you guys get this right, when your staff knows the culture, vision, and mission, when you guys know it, when it's up everywhere, your customers know it, when you walk into your place of business, you'll just feel so motivated and so happy and so inspired because you will see your mission, vision, and culture statements walking around, interacting with your customers. Okay, so now it's more about you guys personally. Take care of your body, it's the only one you get. So, no, but look, eat healthy most of the time except for at mastermind sessions where you get treats. So, as long as you eat healthy the rest of the time.
Got that, Maureen?
Yeah.
Next time, no salad.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
Exercise. Be kind to yourself. Don't criticize yourself. And even if it's just the silent kind in your head where you're like, oh, that was so stupid. Oh, I'm not smart enough. Oh, this and that. You have to cut that out. You really need to be kind to yourself. And all these things I'm telling you, if you feel like they're fuzzy and they're just feel-good, floofy stuff, guess what? It works. That's why I teach it. I don't teach it because I like to be like floofy and hug everybody and, well, I do like that, but it works. There's so many studies proving this, that if you don't take breaks, you are unproductive and you could get hurt. Like the other day I didn't take a break and I was really tired and my hair almost went into the shredder. And I thought, everybody does need a safety policy. Yeah, for real.
That's nuts.
It was scary because I had so much stuff and I was bending over and I dropped a paper and I went like this and I saw my hair go like this and I was like, oh, shoot!
Has anybody died by shredder?
You're welcome.
Yeah, seriously, I think about you guys all the time. So one of the best feelings in the world is to help another human being. It's such an amazing privilege to be able to donate our time, resources, or money to help another person in need. So you can give an hour a week, be a big brother or big sister. You can give money, you can donate to the food bank. You can get one of those bins that I had over there. You can put one of those at your place of business and get your customers to donate. And anybody, I know you guys work a lot with Streets Alive. Does anybody want to share anything about a group that they give to or work with that they think would be great for the group to get involved in?
I personally help out with Christian Aid Ministries, and I'm not soliciting donations by that. Don't get that from it. I'm just sharing a personal story that I love. That's with our church. We have something called a rapid response unit, and I help with that. So that we go around to flooding and disaster zones or whatever, and have a trailer full of tools and help people out. That's one of the things that I enjoy.
That's awesome. That's like when the floods happen, right?
Yeah, floods or
Whatever.
windstorms or whatever. And our area that we cover is Saskatchewan, Alberta, and BC.
Awesome.
There's another thing that you can do too. It's called, I'm sure you've heard of it, it's the Soup Sisters and Soup Brothers.
Yeah.
I've never heard of that.
No? Some restaurants will, or just venues will hold it, and basically you do pay to get in, but that's kind of like donating your money and your time. And then you actually go through the night and you just make tons of soup, and then it gets donated to like Woods Homes or what's the other one? Starts like with an M.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So it's quite fun. Like, I mean, they make it a fun time for you, but at the same time, they usually end up leaving with like 50 things like that of soup. That
That's
everybody's
awesome.
kind of
It's called Soup Brothers?
Soup Sisters and
Soup
Broth
Sisters?
Brothers. I think that's what it is.
Broth
Yeah.
Brothers.
Soup Sisters.
They have a
and Broth
Facebook
Brothers.
page.
Yes, they do.
Clever.
Oh.
And they have like little places in each community throughout Canada.
Awesome. You guys want to tell us a little bit about what you do with the youth?
Yeah, no, Thursday nights I volunteer with the Streets Alive Youth Group. They're like a high-risk group, and most of them like don't have two parents. Most of them only have one. If their parents are ever home at all, they usually fend for themselves. A lot of times they come, they're hungry, like they haven't eaten all day, just kind of normal, right? So McDonald's actually provides free food to them on Thursday nights too.
Really?
And then whatever's
Wow.
left over they can take home. And
Wow.
some of them, even their moms are grateful because they bring leftovers to them, because even
Aw.
they don't. So it's, yeah, it's kind of
That's
nice
awesome.
developing relationships with them. So.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I speak at the Youth Residential Treatment Center to kids that are trying to get off of drugs, and it's pretty scary. Some of the 13-year-olds you'll come across with types of addictions you can't even imagine. And I'm also a big sister, which is really rewarding for me because I get to see the same little girl every week and, you know, I feel like I'll have a powerful impact over the 10 years that I'll spend with her sort of thing, because I do get to see her every week and she's opening up to me, and just having a positive role model when they're in a situation where their parents aren't necessarily the best people to look up to, you know, it's a pretty cool thing to be. But I know a lot of you are parents, and I don't plan to be a parent, so I feel like this is kind of like the only way I would get to influence a kid, you know what I mean? I'm an auntie too, but it's just nice to do it for free, you know? You're not doing it because of obligation, you're doing it because you want to just give and help somebody.
Well, I'll speak to Streets Alive too, because, you know, I'll totally unabashedly be like, if you don't know who to donate to, you can absolutely donate to Streets Alive. They do a lot of really good stuff in our community, and we have the chance to be with the youth, but we also get to do Sunday stuff and feed people, and they just do a million things, so.
I would, yeah.
I would
say the Streets Alive thing, I have a huge amount of respect for. I feel like they're
It takes
reaching people
on average
really
150 people, volunteers, a week at Streets Alive. So.
Wow. And helping people is not just good for the people you help, it's good for you too. It makes a big difference in your self-esteem, your motivation. Choose your friends wisely. So you've heard the saying that you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. It's true. Financially, emotionally, physically, if you're positive or negative. So when I look at back when I was younger and I was having a rough time in life, the people I was surrounded by are awful. Like, I'm not surprised that I was in an awful place, right? The people I'm surrounded by now are like mentors, business owners like you guys, friends who have goals, friends who are positive and motivated, and I'm a completely different person. And they say too that if you look at the bank accounts of the people that you're closest with, they'll all be similar.
They don't show me.
You just don't
tell them like But so you guys need to look at who's in your peer group. You know, this is a good peer
I'm sending
group.
this to my daughter.
Oh. Do you guys have anything you want to add to this?
I think we're doing this leadership thing at Streets Alive right now too. And in addition to getting a mentor, it's also good to get accountability partners that are different than your mentors as well. Mm-hmm. And it seems so natural for, like, it's easy for men to get accountability partners, but harder for them to get mentors. And for women, it's really easy to get mentors because we've always known we can't do it all ourselves and there's, you know, we need help. So it's easier for us to find mentors, but we still also do need accountability partners.
Yeah, good point. You guys could have accountability partners in here or your other business groups that you're in or a friend, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. The other thing that's motivating is talk to your clients and staff. So if you've ever had a boss or you've ever been a boss where you just go in and you go in the office and you close the door and you're like, leave me alone, I have boss stuff to do, and your staff are just out there dealing with the customers, it's not really motivating for them. They don't feel involved, they don't feel engaged. You want to talk to your customers and you want to talk to your staff. So be the person that sells the job. Be the person that follows up and does the survey. Be the person who meets with your staff every 6 months and talks about how's your job going? Do you like it here? Do you feel like you're being rewarded in a way that makes you feel appreciated? And you don't have to do that every day, but ideally, if you guys have your businesses systemized to the point where I want you to get them eventually, you could just spend all day wandering around, talking to random customers and talking to staff randomly, just to like spread your good leadership vibes.
So this is part of the reason I suggested this discussion topic. How do you get there? Like sometimes I feel like I need to go into my office and close the door. I have a lot of things to do. And how am I going to deal with all these other things? And I feel like sometimes I leave my staff just, you know, if they're doing the job, thank God, and then I can do my job, you know?
Yeah.
But you need to keep them motivated. So that's a challenge for me.
So number one is being an example. So I think you're a great boss, to be honest. You're always in a good mood. You buy them pizza all the time. Maybe you could buy them salads once in a while. But you're really kind and considerate to them. Like, I can tell they feel appreciated. You're putting in performance-based incentives, so people are going to get rewarded based on your profit. Like, you are a good boss. The other thing is when you get your business to the point where we want it, where somebody can do your job, you will have the option every day of whether or not you want to do sales. And you won't be that busy.
Sweet.
Whose office looks like this?
Occasionally.
Sheva. Okay,
Not quite. It's getting better.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is. Improve your environment. So I'm talking about your work truck, your office, your home office, your desk, your car.
Your work truck usually. I'm just putting my legs up because
That messes with you. That messes with you. You have to have a clean office and a clean home and a clean car. And you can only have one thing on your desk at a time. And if your desk is your steering wheel, only have one thing on there at a time, not when you're driving, when you're parked. Does this make sense to you guys? Yeah?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Who does have a clean office right now?
There's Karen's in it.
Oh, awesome. And how does it feel to be in that office?
Awesome.
The shop office, I don't think counts
Oh,
because you
yeah.
don't really do.
I do everything there. We spend an entire day in our shop, 4 of us cleaning the whole thing.
This was like 2
Entire
days
day.
ago though,
And
so
how does it
before that
feel?
it was completely messy.
It's awesome.
It feels good. And how did it feel when it was messy?
Like we should come to your office.
And you did for 2 weeks. That's awesome. Put pictures up of things that you love. Put pictures of your kids up, your dogs. I always say interchange kids and dogs. I'm sorry, I only have dogs. But put up things that you love in your office. Like I've got some quotes on my board, and I've got a picture of the beach I'm going to be at in 5.5 weeks, and I've got a picture of my boyfriend, and I've got, I can't remember what else is in there. Calendar with puppies on it. You know, stick stuff you like up in your space so that you like coming into your space and it's nice and clean. And you're like, okay, I'm just going to work on one thing at a time, and I'm going to look at these nice pictures. Not for too long. Focus. So this little girl is being grateful. That's what the next slide is. Sorry, that was bad timing. So be grateful. That is so important to your motivation. Focus on your past successes. Focus on being grateful for anything at all times. Be grateful to be alive, hear, see, feel, walk. Like there's always something to be grateful for. The fact that you had a vehicle to get here, the fact that you have the freedom, you live in a country where you can just start your own business. You get taxed way less than employees. You can all hear me right now, you can all see me right now. Jared's texting, so he's grateful to have a phone.
I'm putting the notes in.
Oh, okay. Okay,
I got
that's
like
awesome.
3 lines.
But see, good examples, right? Yeah.
I read a book I finished a couple weeks ago. It was called The Slight Edge. It was an amazing book.
Halfway through it.
But one of the things he suggests to do in there is every morning you write down 3 things that you're thankful for, but you can't repeat them. So you have to come up with 3 new things every day. And it's totally like, I mean, sometimes it gets hard. I'm like, I'm already thankful for my kid is potty trained, or you get me out of it, right? But like, you know, it's really good to helping you to be grateful because it makes you like sit and think about it every day.
That's awesome. Another thing like Tim and I do is 3 appreciates before bed. So you have to like tell the person and like look in their eyes and tell them 3 things you appreciate about them. And sometimes it's like you really pissed me off today. I really appreciate
That you can make me mad.
that you're here. Because I read a book once that was like, next time you get super mad because someone didn't refill the ice cube tray or that they didn't put the toilet paper on the roll or whatever, just imagine them never being there to do that again. And then you'll just quickly be over that. So yeah, just finding 3 things you appreciate about your life, your partner, your family, your business. Taking time to be grateful is super important.
It's a good thing to remember when you have kids.
Yeah.
And little kids, and the place is just, and you just cleaned it up, but it's that way again.
Oh,
Think
so
about
How do you
how
start
you
those?
No,
How empty your life would be without those
Think
little
about-
mess makers.
where you would be with if you wouldn't have that.
Yeah.
I knew of a couple who lost, they had 4 kids, they lost all of them in an accident,
Oh my goodness.
like all of them. You would think about how thankful you are for a mess or noise or
Yeah.
bad kids or whatever.
Absolutely.
I really like that quote on that thing you said because it said, look at things as if you're looking at them for the first time or the last time.
Yeah.
That's totally true.
It's awesome. Live by your goals. Create a budget. Make sure that there's a cash flow component to it so you know what's coming. When are you going to be out of money? When are you going to need to go into that line of credit? If you achieve your sales goals, will you have 20 grand in the bank? Will you have 100 grand? Will you have nothing? You need to do the budget with cash flow component and live by it. Look at your goals regularly and check them off, or do something to recognize even small accomplishments regularly. So when you do get something done and you cross it off a list, or it's in your calendar and you finish it, or you know, my school keeps popping into my head, but every week I have to do like these 4 assignments, and they have to be done by Wednesday at midnight and Thursday at midnight. And so when I get them done, sometimes at like 11:50, and I hit like send to my coach, I'm like, oh, it's the best feeling ever, you know? So just take a moment to enjoy those moments. Don't just gloss past them. And I'm pretty bad for that. Like, I remember when I wanted to lose some weight a few years ago, and I had a FitnessPal app, and I had my goal weight set at like 140. And so I got up this one morning and I finally was down to 140, and I was like, instantly edit my goal 135. Like, I gotta lose 5 more pounds. And I never really realized how much I was like that until the last couple of years. And it's like, I do that with everything. So I really need to live by this one too, is like, take a moment and be like, oh, I accomplished that. Like, that was good. Hold yourself accountable. Live by your calendar. Make your life easy. Your calendar has 24 hours a day in it. Your life has 24 hours a day in it. So if you fit it in your calendar, it'll fit in your life. Okay? So if you actually live by that, it really helps. It keeps you motivated. It keeps you knowing that you actually do have time for everything that's important in your life. Do what you say you will do when you say you will do it in the way that you said it will be done. So obviously I would ask you guys to strive for keeping your word in 100% of situations, but I know that's not always possible because you're big people with big lives, okay? But what you can do is honor your word 100% of the time. So that means that if Jake tells me he's going to be here today at 11:30 and he gets in a car accident, he's going to call me and say, I know I told you I'd be there at 11:30, but I've been in a car accident, so I won't be there today. He still honored his word. Yeah, sorry. If Jake has a tummy ache, he has to go home. I don't either. Jake has a tummy ache and he has to go home and poop. Sorry. There you go. Hi, Kelly Ray. I said I would be there. But something's come up. Okay? There. It was the Indian first.
You were at number 2.
So do you guys get the difference between keeping your word and honoring your word? Mm-hmm. Yeah? Okay. Do not accept industry standard in your industry. So, Chelsea, in your industry, some of the trends include the $20 bouquet, the grab some at Safeway. Yeah, carnations of baby's breath, right. So you're a really good example of this. You're saying, I don't care if that's how the industry does it, we do it this way, we do it different. And that actually is a strength for your company, right? It's a point of difference. With things like, in our industry, we always have negative cash flow during the winter. No! We're not going to always have negative cash flow during the winter. We're going to figure out alternate revenue streams. And in our industry, we have high turnover and crappy staff. So how many people have told me this? Oh, we just don't get good staff in our industry, in the recession, in this, rig pigs, blah, blah, blah. People are bad. It's like, no, stop. You're letting yourself be poisoned by these industry standards and these things that are typically happening. And you know what? It might happen in 90% of cases. It might. But there might be 10% of cases where it won't happen, and you can find that 10%. You don't have to live by your industry standards, and that will make you motivated and rich if you refuse to live by your industry standards. Okay, so the last thing is I'm going to show you a little video. I didn't use your video.
That's okay.
It wasn't that this one's funnier, you'll see. So this is who you were born to be. So don't let the weight of the world drag you down. I want to show you one more video, and then we'll do the discussion piece. And just remember that when we were kids, you guys, that this is how we all acted. Like, this is how we all felt all the time until life came along. I'll have to get a remote for the lights for next time.
The best part is this button is like keep on putting that on the shirt.
There's another good one with a Mexican kid.
Oh yeah?
I think he's dancing for tacos.
When your tacos are
I like
ready.
Asians. Oh, was that a Mexican?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Okay, so discussion piece. Do you guys feel motivated? Say yes.
Of course.
I'm gonna eat while you guys talk. Okay, so these are some of the things that I thought we could discuss. And we have 40 minutes. So we have 8 of you, so 5 minutes each. Berlin, what you said was really powerful, and actually I can't believe I can top it in my slides, but taking action. Like, you can't be fearful, well, you can be fearful and want to take action, but your brain can only hold one thing at a time, right? So if you're just taking the actions that you know are going to produce the results and you're keeping positively to it, the fear goes away because you only have space in your head for one thing at a time, right? And action every time trumps inaction or fear or worrying, right? Because worrying does nothing. In fact, worrying might push business away from you because people might not want to do business with you if you're like, hey, can you book your job now? Because I really need someone to book a job, you know? So taking action.
So like
Yeah, the
every spring for myself.
Yeah.
So what?
Okay, every spring for myself. Okay, this year we need this many clients, and you're like, crap, we only have like 10% right now.
And that makes the people that work for you feel even more stressed out.
So you lead by example.
It's a
and you
dance
be
this time of
confident.
year.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's
Oh,
But it
and,
won't
and
be
the
forever.
economy this year too is a lot
it
different. Right?
can be difficult. Like
Like
we had some pretty, we have some pretty advanced goals this year. So it
But
needs
you're
to
gonna
work.
Berlin made a good point too, though, because sometimes in our panic we want to take action that's not in our
Best interest.
It's not in our listed
Reactionary,
to take.
yeah.
It's more like based out of fear. So there's times too when you need to not take certain actions and
Stick
trust.
to your plan.
Like, it's still trusting
Stick
the
to your
system, but
goals,
sometimes
yeah.
it's not taking action. Like
Sometimes
you could have been
it's
like,
very
no,
difficult.
it's booking. I'm going to drop my prices by 50%, right?
Well,
like
never.
action not to take.
Well, and last year, for example, it was the same kind of a spring. So I had a long stretch where I wasn't booking. So clients would call me and I'd be at their place and so then I'd tweak the hours. I think we can get it in this many hours.
Give
I
them a
think if
free
we knock this down a little bit and and then I started to sell work and I started to sell that kind of work and then that shows the end of the year when you have money left or don't.
You're getting the kind of work that you actually don't really want in the long run.
Yeah, we don't want to.
And then that work gets spread around because everybody's going, go to him because he'll do this.
Yeah, he's so cheap. Use him.
That was a huge thing for us too. Like, I mean, when we first started out, we had lower prices than a lot of people. And it was like, they're cheap. Go to them. They have the cheapest prices in town. And
You don't want to be the cheap guy.
no.
Definitely
Nobody
don't.
except Walmart can win that way.
Yeah, pretty much.
What about Costco?
Them too.
I don't know that
I
they have
have
those
big fans of all
fans.
those places.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
cannot-
I think it's a,
I don't care if you buy one or two, you cannot walk out of Costco under $100.
I don't know if I've ever walked out of Costco under 100. Oh, one time I think I got like one block of cheese.
I bought a hot dog and we got out of there.
That's because
$1.
you avoided the other half of the store.
yeah, just go for a hot dog,
That's
$1 hot dog.
Didn't even have to show my card.
Yeah, and then sometimes, like occasionally you get to see where you rank in perspective. And we did some work yesterday for a client who, okay, here comes the soap opera, started off as Grant and mine, that was our client. Then when I went to work with Roscoe's, it became Roscoe's client, and now I help them back. So, and when I sent the estimate for the day rate for the farm, Al called me and says, holy crap, he says, it ended up my junk mail. He says, that's a lot of money. And he says, that's more than Adam used to charge me. And I said, but like, you're not happy with Adam. Trust me, you're going to feel pretty good about yourself at the end of the day because we've got 3 powerhouse pruners coming in there. And he did. Yesterday, we did the second day, and he was like, he says, you've got more done in 2 days than they've done for 2 years in two visits with the right people in place, right? And people that he's had come to him as a result of my relationship have been all of the same high standard. And that to me, says a lot. Like when you're making referrals and you're getting the feedback from those people as well, that, man, that Natasha, she's just a, workhorse. And I said, well, you needed someone to help with odd, gardening or whatever it was. Now he's hiring her to do the mowing at the farm. And Daniel, I said,
Who's Natasha?
he isn't. Oh, she's a girl that's a competitor of sorts. And he's going to get her to mow the farm. It's 8 acres with a push mower. And Daniel says to me,
What?
he says, I hope that isn't easy getting her to use to mow the farm. Because like the thistle and the grass, and good luck with that. But yeah, so it's nice to get that kind of feedback as well. And I know like a few times where we've had, oh, well, so-and-so came in. We price what we feel where we're worth in order to make a profit on the jobs that we do. We provide quality work at a level of understanding of tree biology that exceeds most of, everybody, I think, probably in the city.
This could fit in your mission statement.
Yeah, and so, he says, well, we decided to go so-and-so because they were cheaper. Well, good luck. And she was happy, that we got the problem solved, that I mean, you don't, Brent is still touching the electrical services coming to the house and stuff, like, yeah, that's not what you're.
And you're classy about it, right? Like you don't put down the other
No,
person.
no, like I said, yeah, no, you're right, you know, they should have, you know, there's areas where, you know, we would be looking at things differently, so.
Sorry.
Yeah, so, I think we're worth what we charge, you know, like, so.
Absolutely.
You know, it becomes a decision, you pay twice because, you know, whatever reason, or you can pay once and get it done with a, you know, longer term vision than when we come in there, so.
Did you guys read that article I sent you on price a while ago? There's a lot of stuff that goes into price, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like.
And that's part of your mission and your vision.
Yeah.
Because you can't be the high-end arborist if you charge the cheapest prices. It doesn't fit with your mission.
Right.
And those people who want the cheapest clients, they'll either end up calling you afterwards for quality work, or they'll hire the cheapest person and they'll have poor quality. But that's not your brand, so you don't want that,
No.
right?
I listened to a seminar in Calgary recently that a paving stone company put on, and they brought a landscape designer, architect in from, I think he's from Ontario. He was really, really good. He said, I actually talked to him after because I have a very difficult time charging for designs. It's tough for me, and I know that even when I charge, I still charge not enough. But so I talked to him and said, how do you get over, how do you charge? He said, well, it's probably you. He said, you're gonna have to just find a place. He said, you can charge more. He said, you absolutely can, but he said, you have to get there in your own mind. He said himself, he charges, I don't know what it was, 200 or 250 an hour, whatever the dollar figure was. And he said, that's where I'm comfortable and confident at. He said, I have a friend who charges $300 or $400 and has lots of work. And he said, the guy comes to me and says, you're absolutely crazy. You can charge more money, like you can charge. But he said, I couldn't do it because I don't feel like I'm worth that. So it's
That's the
basically
self-esteem
comes down
thing,
to-
right? That's, I think, exactly. The other thing too that I find is everybody, it's a consumer mentality about free estimates. So if you go there to do a service and you're giving them like basically a free consultation almost, right? You're taking time, and you can't charge for that initial visit to determine what they actually need, like, you know, when you get into the actual drawing part. But, you know, I see there's tangible people would be prepared to spend money on that, but just to go and look at it, do you charge them to just come and look at their job? Like, do you have a...
You have to look at your industry and you have to look at your
Yeah.
A customers.
Yeah.
Because for me, when I started, I wanted to charge hourly so that I would never have to do things for free, right? But it doesn't work that way. I need to meet people and talk to them and get them to know how smart I am and how much I can do for them before they even consider paying me.
Right.
So it depends. Have you looked at your A customers, and does anybody in your industry charge for consultation?
No.
And how long does it take you to do a consultation or to look at the trees?
Oh, I shouldn't say that, because I do charge. If I'm asking to do a consultation, if people are looking for an estimate, and I have to edit myself too, because I end up, you know, going there to look at, well, something wrong with my tree, right? They're assuming you're coming to do an estimate, give them, you know, basically I'm doing a consultation, but they classify that as a give me a price to fix my tree. But the process is the same, really, because I'm doing diagnostic work, I'm coming up with, you know, a program of recovery and maintenance. But some people just specifically ask for a consult, and you can say, okay, go there with the expectation of so much per hour,
Yep.
or
Good.
so much per
Like
kilometer
education.
to get there, plus so much per hour, and then give them a recommendation based on that, and hook them up with the right people for the next step.
Chelsea, did you have something you wanted to talk about?
I was actually going to ask, Lacey kind of touched on it earlier about the accountability partner. So do you have like an example of that, of what you've done in the past? Like I have someone that I've just started that up with, and so I'm just kind of trying to like find processes that would like be the best. Obviously it works on the two people that are in it, but processes that work best for that.
Well, a good spot is an accountability partner is a lot of times good if they've been through and like successfully been through whatever it is you're struggling with.
Mhm.
And like Dwayne, he's the one leading this group, he suggests that we have more than one. So he has like 7 different mentors, one in business, one in different areas of personal growth. And if you're really struggling with something in particular, then you pick an accountability partner that can help you through that. So you usually talk to them about once a week. He also suggests that they're the same gender as you. And then you basically call in and you have to be like 100% transparent, right? And you get together with them once a week for like half an hour, or you call each other and you're like, hey, this is what I'm doing. This is where I'm at. This is where I failed. This is where I succeeded. And then they, because they've walked through that before you, they can, yeah, if that makes sense.
So what do you see the relationship that you've built?
It's not bad, but like, I mean, this is the same thing. Like, we've just started it, I think, for the past month. And it's a lot less formal, I think, right? Like, we basically have, they're from Fort McMurray, but they have their own business. They're further along than I am, so they've gone through some of the challenges and everything like that. But then some of them are kind of overlapping, so if you have a challenge with staffing. So it's kind of also being able to talk to someone who's going through the same thing and like what they're doing about it, but also even having someone going, I get that, like, I understand, like, the issue or the dilemma that you're having, but here's what I would do, right?
Yep.
And then at the same time, we're just going through and we're making lists, so it's almost like even like task lists. So like, this is the things like that I want to get accomplished this week, and then we're kind of not battling off against each other, but we're almost kind of giving a little bit of a competitive value to it to try to get these things done. Yeah,
that's awesome.
So
how did you find each other then? Like, how did you end up finding somebody in your industry in Fort McMurray?
Oh, they're not even in my industry. It's a totally different industry.
Oh, okay.
It's just a small business, right? So that's where, we're both small businesses. And it's just a friend of the family.
Oh, okay.
So can I make a suggestion too? Like, for me, all my mentors are way better than me. So like, I have a mentor who's filthy rich and I want to be more financially free one day. I have a mentor who's got a master's in psychology. And I've got a mentor who was a sales manager for a long time, but he's got a ton of real estate and they're very comfortable, like they retired early. Like, I pick people who I want to be like. So try not to be the one who's giving the benefit as much. Like, if you work out with someone who's not as good as you, you're not going to get a good workout, but they will. So think of it that way too with your partners. Like, try not to pick somebody who you're going to teach the whole time. Oh yeah. Pick somebody who you want to be like. Yeah. And don't aim low. No. And that's kind of one. Yeah. And that's kind of where I'm getting started too. Like, this is kind of like a low-key accountability thing, but I do need mentors, and I have my eye on a couple people. That sounds a little creepy, but
no. What Dwayne did is because like he had this one guy that he scouted and was like, okay. And number one, mentors should have the same value system as you two. But he found someone and he was like, okay, I want them to be my mentor. And this guy's like super successful. And he's like super busy, right? And so he's like, is there a time, give me a time when you're sometimes in your office. And the guy was like, sometimes Thursday mornings. And so Dwayne was like, okay, I'm going to be at your office Thursday, every Thursday morning at 9 o'clock. And if you don't have time for me when you come into the office, you just say I don't have time. Then I'll go on my merry way. And so all I want is a half an hour if you have time. And so he was there for 3 weeks in a row or whatever. It's like the third or fourth week, and the guy was finally like, I have 10 minutes. They sat down. He had a list of questions prepared. And so this guy is now a mentor of his, but it basically requires you scout, and then you commit, and then you annoy them until they...
That's exactly how I did it. Yeah. And that's kind of the thing that I'm scared about, right? Like, and it's probably self-esteem things too, but like to go up to someone who's so busy and so successful and be like, so can I ask you some questions? Like, it's so flattering. I've had it happen to me a few times. I'm like, are you sure? I'm only 33. Like, I've only done this many years of this, and it's like they just have to be slightly better than you to teach you. And that's okay. It's like an honor to be asked.
That reminds me, the guy that we buy all our water feature products from, Aquascapes, they're from Chicago. The owner of the business, he's like, he doesn't know what, like the self-esteem thing you talked about, he doesn't know what, what's the word? He'll go talk to anyone at any time. So
no boundaries.
Yeah, no boundaries.
Uninhibited.
So one of the things he did earlier on, he picked this guy who was just super successful doing something that his warehouse was next to, went over and talked to him, walked in the door, hi, I'm Greg Whitstock, and he said, how do you run your bid, how do you do this, or whatever. And he said he said, if you ask somebody how they run their business or something that they love to do, he said, they'll be overjoyed. He said, this guy took me in, gave me the tour, told me all kinds of things, and that's kind of how some things that helped him launch what he's doing. So I totally get that though. Like, for me to go up to Lacey and say, Lacey, how do you run your business? You're super successful. Tell me how you did it. Yeah, it's not easy to do.
Do you know why it's not easy?
it's probably because it's the right thing to do.
You feel inferior, maybe?
What do you think comes between? Sorry, that hot sauce is hot.
Pretty good.
So this is something I probably should have gone over. So okay, so we're here. Okay, don't catch that. I was trying to throw it at you. Okay, so if I throw something at Jake, all that really happened right there was what?
Distraction.
I just threw something at Jake. That's it, right? That's it. That's all that happened. Okay. But Jake could think, what is she doing? Is she crazy? Is she being mean? Is she being funny? Is she trying to cause a distraction? Like all these things are running through his head, and then he decides to feel a certain way. So he might decide that I'm picking on him, or he might decide that I'm not as funny as I think I am, or whatever it is, right? But this happens constantly. So if Verlin's thinking about approaching a mentor, let's say Maureen's like this big famous landscaper lady, and she's standing, you know, at a ball. You guys are at a ball, a landscaping ball, and she looks really snobby. And Verlin's like, water features everywhere. And Verlin's like, okay, I'm gonna go over and talk to her. What stops him?
It's fear of failure.
In your head,
rejection.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's stuff you make up, and that's what you have to get. You make it up. It's not true.
Until it happens. They'll just say, I'm too busy, or...
It's just like,
And then you
like
just
charging.
swallow
And then you
Yeah.
don't make something up about that. So if they do say I'm too busy, that's it. That's all that happened. They said they were too busy.
Just tell
It
them to
doesn't
suck
mean you're
and
not
leave.
good enough. Don't do that. I have one mentor who
just so small. Don't do that.
I have one mentor who didn't see me for 2 months because he was so busy with projects. And I finally wrote him this big email. I'm like, I've left you 3 messages. I'm like, I haven't seen you in 2 months. And I said, if I've done something to upset you, I'm really sorry. Could you please just let me know what it is? Because I'd really like to work on myself so that I could be the best mentee that I can be. And then he called me and he's like, oh my God. And he's laughing. He's like, you're like a crazy ex-girlfriend. I'm just busy. And I was like, oh. I just made all this stuff up about how he didn't want to be my mentor anymore, and about how I'm annoying, and then yeah.
And then
so
you become that.
he was just busy. Exactly.
Is
Yeah.
there more water?
Yeah. But yeah, he was just busy, and now I see him again. So don't make stuff up. Just go with what actually happened. Does anybody else need more water?
No.
Yes.
Oh, now I'm full. You guys should eat some more food.
Please.
My food
Thank
baby's
you very
already here.
Anybody
No
else?
more room.
I have to save room for pizza.
You go to Berlin's or something?
Over to my office.
I'm
Pizza.
on the pizza everyday diet right now.
Oh.
I saw your Facebook. I saw that on Instagram.
And what is the point of that?
Isn't pizza a balanced diet?
That's what he keeps
I'm
telling us.
not a nutritionist, but
Vegetables.
You go somewhere
grain,
different every day, or you make it? or
Whole
what?
wheat bread.
Dairy.
dairy, yeah. Fruit, like tomatoes is a fruit, right?
Yeah.
Tomato paste.
Pineapple.
There you
Yeah,
go.
there could be onions on it.
Okay.
okay, I think we can
Nothing
stop the video. I don't think Andrea or Brian or anybody else that's
Why
gonna watch this video.
not? Just let them know what they're missing out on. If they weren't here, they could be part of it.
Comedy relief of the whole thing. You said we have to take breaks.
I